It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Elijah Nima Akashat Zabiri in the building. You're welcome back. It's been like 2 whole weeks. Okay, 1 week. But it seems like forever. How are you? You know, I just realized that she strategically took the midterm break with her kids. I didn't even realize it until this morning. Like, this is mother. So we don't want to be with our children.
It was a week for family.
That's nice.
My kids, I took the break to stay with them and then visit my mom effortlessly, because usually when I go from work, I'm too tired, I'm in a rush to go home. So we stayed for a very long time, enjoyed our stay. And the week was a lot of shocks for me. So 2 very important people died. During the week. The executive secretary to the Lagos State Scholarship Board.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Alhaji Lekki. He's been a very good supporter of me on the show. I get my messages, my feedbacks, my support when I'm away. Nima, you're not on the show. So, you know, the shock of the news online just broke me. And then Shukura.
Oh.
This woman I shared on the...
You're referring to recently?
Yes. She also passed. And she's quite young. But we accept the will of Allah. I ask Allah to bless.
I'm so sorry about
both
that.
of them with Jannah.
Reference her sometimes on the show.
No, not as much. You know, she's been a very discreet part of my life here, but we're close enough and was a bit painful. But I've accepted the will of Allah. Lagos State.
Life goes on.
Now, well done. Lagos State is shutting down Mile 2 for the interchange construction. They are not giving us the clarity. Because I expect that before they do it, the alternative Coca Bridge to Amuwo would have been opened. So we have an alternative from First Stack inwards. But I'm hoping that when it starts next week, Monday, it'll be relief.
Dokpe, how are you?
I'm doing very well. So this week is a back-to-school-ish week for me. This week is tomorrow, Nia Adesoya Leadership Boot Camp. This week is leadership week for me. So leadership boot camp by Nia Adesoya is Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they start Leadership Academy. I mean, not leadership, ELC, Excellence in Leadership Conference, is Thursday and Friday. So today is my last day on the show this week. I am in class. There's no better time to be thinking of the future than in November. So let's start planning what we're going to do. I'm very grateful. I went to buy fuel, and I usually ask for receipts, my husband and I. So he now asked them to do receipts, to write the receipts. They asked him, what should we write? He said, what I bought. He said, how much should I put there? You know, the thing is, we're dealing with corruption, and we're assuming that it is the politicians, the big people. But the expectation is when you want to buy fuel, the receipt written does not reflect what you bought. It is what the driver says is expected. And it was default. So they asked him, what should he write? We went to buy gas. The same thing in the gas station. What should we put there? He said, what's the cylinder size? Put it now. So you can actually put small and claim you have filled the gas.
And you bring a receipt home.
And in our minds, all of us are pure. It is the politician that is stealing money that is the liar among all of us. Leadership starts with everybody involved. Like I said, this point fingers of leadership. We are all involved. Let us do better.
Do better.
Okay.
Hello, Damilola Banner in the building. Looking gorgeous as ever. How was your weekend?
We can't look like our problems. My weekend was fine. I had a hectic yesterday because I had an event I hosted at Blue Roof for my uncle's foundation, Beings Foundation, where he usually gives 100 students scholarship every year. So yesterday was the 17th edition, meaning that he has given 1,700 students scholarship from writing jam all through. And the foundation actually boasts of first-class students only. So yesterday,
buy links or something like that.
Yeah, Beings Foundation. Yesterday was a lot of roller coaster because he also had widows, and we had over 1,500 widows in attendance. And the only thing that struck me was that where are their husbands? Is it distress, mental breakdown? Could it be... so many things could have sent this man to probably some early grave or even... So I had this reaction.
Or some left them at
Blue Roof, like I was doing marathon, like Choma Joe, going back forth and had to cover so many lapses. So it was eye-opening for me. It was work. So today was supposed to be my weekend, but I opted that I'll come on the show. I ain't got no job, no two job. Me too really So I had to be on the show.
Good to have you. Thank you so much. I attended a prayer meeting on Saturday with Pastor Felix Adejimo. It was Mother's Summit.
Yeah, in the morning.
And it was so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so thankful for the invitation. I didn't even know about it. So when I attended some dinner with her, I think the day before, they now mentioned it. that was happening on Saturday morning. So I was there praying for your
The
children.
the prayer points are strong.
It was really, really impactful. And she was saying that you don't know something until you realize you don't know it. You know, sometimes you're just living. You're fine in your default mode. Forgetting that actually there's so much out there. When I also went to Daystar to worship, and I really enjoyed the service. You know, Daystar is just very Daystar. You have to park in a different school, enter the bus, and like these people. But you see, in all that, you have to be very orderly. You know, so my Nigerian self was like, I beg,
So you can comport
you
and
have to
conform.
force yourself to just comport. Don't act like the, you know. And I think when you do that every day, it programs your mind. You know, you become a better citizen because you're forced to do certain things that's not convenient. So I think I really appreciate it. I'll be back. I'll go back there.
The Mother's Prayer is still on YouTube for those that
missed it.
They can watch on YouTube.
Let's go on a short break. It's Monday. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation as usual. Presidency, Atiku's alternate economic plans, a cheap talk. We sell petrol at 919 naira to the litre to truck, says Dangote Refinery. Federal government raises Lagos Calabar coastal highway compensation to 18 billion naira. Banks credit to economy rise to 118 trillion naira. LP Governor Otis men win council seat at the ZLP ticket. The Nation Journalism Foundation takes off, and Owando grows turnover to 29 trillion, makes 60.3 billion naira net profit. Okay. Which story starting with? Should I start with the major headline?
Let me start with Dangote. Because IPMAN, as the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, and the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association and other associations have accused Dangote of not engaging the retail part of the business. Said he should open communications with the retailers and stakeholders in the industries as regards pricing. They also allege that, according to their president, the president of the Petroleum, Billy Gillis Harris, he says that they can import. They collectively has said they can import at a cheaper price than what Dangote is selling. So Dangote is forced to respond through its one of the other. I cannot remember quickly his office now. The chief branding communications officer of Dangote, Tony Chiejina, he says that Dangote is willing to sell the petrol at 990 naira, which is what NNPC has pegged it as. He insists that post the regulation, NNPC sets the pace by selling PMS to domestic marketers at 971 naira per litre for sale into ships and 990 naira for sale into trucks. And this is the benchmark of their pricing as well. It conforms with international pricing as well. And they are even willing to do 960 per litre for sale into ships and 990 for sale into trucks. They are willing to engage IPMAN, they are willing to engage Petroleum. And I'm wondering.
It's serious confusion. Anyway, thank God it's our
next too much.
We'll discuss and get more information. Let me go to the former Vice President of Nigeria, Vice President Atiku Abubakar, in his X page, had recently posted what he would have done if he were president. He said, according to lots of his fans, people always send him messages saying, what could we have done differently? So he said, amongst others, specifically, he was saying that if he were president, he would have planned better and more robustly. He would have been more strategic in response to the phone rollout. He says that he didn't like the approach of the president in the subsidy removal and the flotation of the naira. He said, I would have led by example. I and members of my team would not have lived in luxury while citizens wallow in misery. Would have communicated more effectively with the people with civility, tact, and diplomacy. I would not run a palliative economy. Yes, he would have a robust social protection program, and he would have launched something called the Economic Stimulus Fund. But of course, Mr. Bayo Onunuga, the spokesman, the president said first, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's ideas, which lacked details, were rejected by the Nigerians in the last poll. He said that he was saying nothing, he wasn't giving any details or specifics of what he could do. These are still general statements. He said that Abubakar lost the election partly because he vowed to sell the NNPC and other assets to his friends. Nigerians have not forgotten this, nor would they be comforted by Atiku's antecedents when he ran for the economy back during.
When I saw that story, I was just saying it's easier to play football from home than in the stadium.
On the pitch.
All of us are the same thing. What Atiku is saying, the many Nigerians do, get parlors in the churches, you all think that we know. This one, and when you now, the truth is that reality is, even our president, before he went there, was acting as if,
I
go
have
there.
not figured out.
Blame me when I get there. He entered, said he come.
The things inside are more than the things outside.
He realized that this thing is not about
I have this story on the collapsed mining pit that happened in Niger State, and the governor has also pledged collaboration. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals, Samson Ekong, expressed the commitment of the Red Chamber to fostering a safe and profitable mining sector when he led other members to the committee to visit the governor on a mine that actually collapsed, which claimed about 30 persons' life. Wow. And the meeting also encompassed them talking about how this illegal mining has weakened Nigerians' economy and how they go there to perform different type of unauthorized operations. And in all of it, the committee chairman also said the sector was exponentially threatened by illegal practices such as unauthorized mining with crude system, environmental endangerment, and unregulated operations with very little attention to safety or best practice in the industry. So we hope that they'll be able to really apprehend those people who they say or who they claim are involved in illegal mining. We are still not hearing anything about the Ibadan story that collapsed some buildings, and it comes, we talk, but action is always slim.
Okay, I have a story.
Yes, I do. I have a story concerning David Umahi, who spoke in concern the fact that sharing good news on the increase in compensation for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road. So the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, of course, has been in the news because in implementing that road, there will be a lot of demolition along the Lagos axis, which has already started. And before they pegged the cost of compensation at 8 billion, but FEC has okayed the increase of the compensation to 18 billion. He said that, and they are going to be disbursing the money, the compensation will be paid within 10 days. And he's expressing the fact that they had to do that increase from 8 billion to 18 billion based on the realities of our time, that the compensation figures were done by an independent experts who published each property detail and used it to adjudge how much should be paid as compensation. However, a lawyer and valuation expert, Mr. Olushola Enito, said that the amount they are planning to pay for compensation is not justifiable. According to him, he says many of the people are those that own their own houses. They were not paying rent, but now they have to become tenants and be paying rent because the money they will be getting as compensation is not enough for them to build another house for themselves. Back and forth concerning how the compensation should be paid and how soon it will be paid. But David Umahi has said that they will be publishing in the newspapers how the compensation was paid, who the compensations were paid to. So there will be nothing hidden about the compensation. And if anybody has any issue, of course, they can take it up to court.
The Punch, very quickly. Northern governors, ACF, others demand minors release. Excuse me. Aggrieved residents protest as king politicians visit Spain flood scenes. U.S. election, Harris, Trump in final push for vote. Man jailed 6 months for attempting to sit daughter's UTME. Government allocates 18 billion naira compensation to the Lagos-Calabar highway neighborhood. FG projects 44 trillion revenue as reps oppose tax review. Nigeria's forex market unstable, says Fitch. And 4 marketers spend 833 billion naira on fuel import, says report. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll take the stories in Punch. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have...
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Let me take the picture story here. So residents of Paiporta, the worst hit town in Spain's devastating floods, unleashed anger at King Felipe VI on Sunday, shouting questions underscoring their heartbreak. How many have died? Because there was conflict. I watched the news over the weekend, and many people were complaining that the governments were not being truthful on the real amount of victims and the number of victims they had. So the torrential rains on Tuesday caused Spain's worst disaster in decades. Interestingly, also the Queen, Queen Letizia, and the other politicians visited the same area, the Valencia region. About 25,000 people were met with jeers, shouting of murderers, mudslinging, and all sorts. The residents of Paiporta, where officials say over 70 people died, but there were still quite a number unknown, and the figures kept conflicting. So the politicians were there, and obviously they were met with also with jeers of murderers, calling them names. They had to rush off all the officials back into the motorcade because they couldn't confront the people, because according to the people, they came 5 days late. Something struck, and they came 5 days after, and obviously
they couldn't get access to the place too.
Yeah, well, they said that the devastation was struck was quite bad.
It was really bad.
And people were really, lots of people have died. So far, I'm not sure the numbers, but it's looking like about 217.
Yes.
So their inspection came 5 days late, or the rescue came 5 days late?
The inspection came 5 days. Rescue obviously was immediate. It's just that the leaders didn't show up until 5 days after.
Okay, so I have the father's story in the Punch, who sat for JAM for his daughter.
Please.
So this is a professor. His name is Professor Jide Josiah Jesus, and he's been sentenced to 6 months in prison for impersonating. He did not impersonate his daughter. He impersonated what he called an NGO inspection body. He had been at a JAM center. The school was mentioned here, and when he was confronted, according to the PRO of JAM, he insisted that he was a representative of a non-governmental body to oversee examinations.
Okay.
And so the JAM official on site, Oga, non-governmental in JAM Center, what is this about?
What is the correlation?
He insisted, he tried to cover up, but later his deception was uncovered because the JAM official persisted. And he said, well, I'm not here for that. I came to assist my daughter in writing an exam. So his admittance and everything. Since 2019, he's been in court, and the court finally sentenced him to 6 months in prison.
Oh, wow.
Just as you mentioned. He hasn't served though.
They just
was not in detention.
I have the one for Kano begins registration of foreigners. And this one is saying the Kano State government on Sunday constituted a committee for the comprehensive verification and registration of all foreigners residents in the state. The committee of experts on expatriates is under the office of the Secretary of the State Government. The committee has officially launched a comprehensive verification and registration exercise targeting all expatriates and their businesses operating within Kano State. So this move is to curb insecurity in the state located in the northwest, which is the major center for commerce, culture, and industry in the region. And the media officer in the committee, Yikasai, also via the press, also said that the initiative was designed majorly to sanitize and secure the business environment. He also added that development would ensure expatriates abide by the necessary regulations and standards in the states. So we hope that maybe, if it pulls through and they register everybody, probably other states can also take a hint from that.
Yeah, the ones that are doing elections, they should all sort of foreigners from different countries come and start voting in Nigeria. So there are allegations as well. We heard that. We can't confirm that, but the point is that it's important for us to know who are Nigerians and who are non-Nigerians.
Non-Nigerians amongst them.
Story
yes, I do have a story also from Kano State. The Kano State governor, as well as the Arewa consultative forums, have demanded there be a immediate release of the minors that are facing trial for treason in the Abuja Federal High Court. So the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoko, had on Friday arraigned 76 End Bad Governance protesters. Those that protested between 1st of August to 10th of August 2024. And during the arraignment, there were pictures of malnourished-looking minors. Out of the 76 protesters that were arraigned in 2 batches, 32 of them were children. The first batch, there were 10 counts bordering on treason, intent to destabilize Nigeria, inciting mutiny by calling on military to take over from the president. And they pled not guilty, and they were granted a 10 million naira bail, which, according to the governor, is not going to be feasible for them to raise that money. And he said his attention had been drawn to the children, teenagers, many of them believed to be from Kano, that were brought to court on Friday, and he's asking that the Commissioner of Justice of the state processes their release immediately. There are other people that are being detained as well. All of them are saying if they are children, they should be released. I think that many people have complained about the fact that these children are just pawns in the scheme of the greater damage that was done. We all saw the damage was carried out by some children, but if the children are minors, they should be put into a rehabilitation process to help them get better understanding, not put in detention where they are not getting enough food. There was visible devastation of hunger and malnourishment of the children that are in detention, and that should be corrected. If you cannot feed them in detention, then release them or put them in a facility where they can be well taken care of. Okay,
let's move on to Vanguard. Why exporters are struggling since investigation. #EndBad Governance Protest, ACF, Nigerian Human Rights Commission, CISLAC and others slam police over trial of minors. Presidency Atiku tango over economy. Owando announces 60.3 billion profit after tax for FYE 2023. Withheld pay, normalcy returns to varsities as workers suspend strike. AFCON 2025 qualifier, Libya begins mass arrest of Nigerians after CAF verdict. NGE conference, Shatima Diri, others lead discussion on economy and security. An international firm hires depot to blend substandard petrol in Nigeria. Asagba Stool, fierce legal battle looms. Okay,
so I have the Sano and Nasu story. So both bodies in a joint action committee had issued a strike on Monday, the 28th, a warning strike of October, 28th of October. And they went on this strike, which they suddenly called off, and they said it takes effect tomorrow, Tuesday, the 5th of November. That's the calling off of the strike, because they didn't state particularly what the terms were, but the National Association of Technical Universities or Technical Schools, I'm trying to get the full details, had their president, that's the President Ibeji Wokoma, insisting that they would continue. The National Association of Academic Technologists said that they will continue with the strike and protest and picketing of Federal Ministry of Finance until if 50% of the 5 months withheld salaries are not paid. So they also added that a month has been paid of the 3 months for which they went on protest by the federal government, who had agreed with them to pay 50%. But Sano and Nasu, till they did not give terms of why they're calling off the strike, whether temporarily or permanently. and whether they've spoken with their team members across the country on why they're calling off the strike. But it's relief to the federal university students, at least they can go back to school. I hope they don't have to go back home again because
after that. Okay. I have the one of the First Lady NSA to lead national prayers for Nigeria's economic turnaround. And the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu will spearhead the national prayer session aimed at addressing Nigeria's numerous challenges. And the initiative, coordinated with Christians and Muslim religious leaders, seeks divine intervention for the country's social, economic, and security issues under the theme seeking the intervention of God in Nigeria's affair. The director, DG of National Prayer Forum, Afoloro Nekon, announced the event in Abuja, and he also said that this collective interfaith gathering is going to signify the hope of fostering resilience among citizens in inspiring leaders to find lasting solutions for the nation's stability. So we hope that God will be available.
Okay, moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune. Reforms, what I would have done differently, says Atiku. Police arrest 113 Chinese, Malaysians, 17 Nigerians for cybercrime hacking. I'm sure Nima has that story. How U.S. presidential election may be decided. Lagos Calabar Coastal Road compensation to affected property owners hit 18 billion naira. Nigeria's productivity crisis deepens as per capita income drops to $877. Polaris Bank clinches Best Mobile App Award at Digital Jurist Awards 2024. Cost of goods may rise as bank system migration cripples cargo clearance at seaport. Okay.
So that's the story I have, the fact that there's a challenge with the banking system, and the ripple effect of that challenge is going to be affecting many people, obviously. They say many cargoes are currently trapped in Apapa and Tinkan ports following the persistent disruption in the online services of some commercial banks due to the upgrade of their electronic banking portal. Many people have found this to be very difficult for their businesses. But the Nigerian Tribune got information from the national president of the African Association of Professional Freight Forwarders Logistics of Nigeria, Mr. Frank, and he lamented that many jobs are stuck because the moment an agent tries to make payments and he cannot move the job from another bank to another one because the bank, he mentioned the bank, because the bank network is bad. I'm not mentioning the bank. Then he said that for you to begin the clearance process, the transaction has to go through the bank, and then you have to pay your custom duties, and the banking app platform they use for this payment is not working. So you are now going to pay demurrage, which would impact on the cost of goods. So the cost of goods that are going to be brought into the country now will cost more money for Nigerians than what it actually should cost. Not because it's more expensive, not because of dollar, but because of banking challenges and the fact that they are unable to make payments. So I don't know if any concession can be made for this product, because I know that last week we took a story of how the port authorities have to now stop products from containers from being dropped because there's a huge backlog of demurrage that needs to be paid and clearing that needs to take place, and it will impact the product. So government also needs to make a bit of concession, because we know that this is beyond the control of the agents. It is the banks and the platform that is making them unable to make these payments.
Talking about banks, Polaris Bank just played into my hands. Polaris Bank's Polaris Bank won an award. I'm even wearing their color today, purple. Polaris Bank's commitment to digital innovation and excellence has once again been recognized, as the bank was awarded the prestigious Best Mobile App for its renowned digital banking platform, Volte, at the Digital Jurist Awards held October 31st in Ateko Hotel. The honor comes less than a week after Polaris Bank was named Nigeria's Digital Bank of the Year. Okay, I have said what the paper said. Me, as a Polaris Bank user, I have not been able to use my Volte since last year, December, for my bank, for my company. I have chats back and forth with my bank manager. They be apologizing, so they have a system down, there's a problem here, and we've been going back and forth. I have lost many transactions. I've threatened to open a new bank. I have begged them. They've tried to solve my problem and give me an alternate app to use. So I'm like, you're winning an award. How? But I don't know. Let me just, this is my own personal experience. But just saying that, congratulations to being the best digital app. But me as a customer,
I've not enjoyed
that benefit of the award.
Your award.
Okay, so according to the first PRO of the police, Olumiwa Adejobi, the police conducted what they called a strategic operation around the next cash and carry area in Jabi in Abuja, and they arrested suspects who they claim were using computers and other sophisticated devices to facilitate criminal activities. And among these people, 130 suspects, 113, that's 130 minus 113. The 130 are foreign nationals, majorly Chinese and Malaysian origin.
What?
Fraud, cybercrime.
If you see the beauty, they use coaster pack there, coaster full, another coaster come.
Of non-Nigerians?
Yes, in Nigeria. And Nigerians, of course, were involved. The foreigners were 87 males and 26 female.
Wow.
And Nigerians, 17 Nigerians were with them, 4 Nigerian male and 13 females. It can be their girlfriend. Because Nigerians like money, those we guess. They might not be. But
they will now say that Nigerians are carrying out cybercrime.
Now, when the VPN shows location to Nigeria,
yes.
Nigeria is a fraudulent country. When I say it on the show that these people are more fraudulent than you think, Nigerians will be arguing. But no problem, because somebody was saying in the UK that why will you say that Britain and America? What do you know? I got arrest. It's my opinion, and I'll state it to my full chest.
I gave you your time. The time was finished. I gave you time
to. I did not check clock
story.
Sorry.
You done.
Yes, you done.
Let's go. When we come back, we're going to hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back. That's why you hate Chinese so.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take.
I choose to stay.
Close the show, G. Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym though, you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person I used to sus? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Creche, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Thanks for staying with us. So there was a story that's been trending over the weekend, and as we always say on Your View, if it's not said on Your View, it's not yet discussed, about when the fact that Nigeria charged 76 people, including 30 minors, with treason and inciting a military coup after they took part in a deadly August protest against economic hardship in the land that was known as #EndBadGovernance. Protesters in August demonstrated in Abuja, the commercial capital of Lagos, and several other cities to show discontent with economic reforms of the president that have led to rampant inflation and inflicted increasing hardship on Nigerians. Now, over that last week, these children were amongst the numbers that were arraigned in court, of which 30 were claimed to have been minors. Now, the police have not specifically come out to tell us who are minors, because we get different reports. Some lawyers are saying they are all adults. Others are saying there are minors there. We have various reports, but what are your own thoughts? I mean, we have a clip we'll be showing you in a moment of some of the comments we've heard from the press releases, from comments from the social media. We'll get a few comments for you to see, but I would like to hear from Nigerians. What are your thoughts on? I know Tokpo also took the story in the papers. People are saying, what could be done if these minors indeed have been detained since August? There's an issue, there's a legal issue here. Is it legal for them to have been detained that long? Secondly, what's the role of their parents? What's the role of the community? What's the role of the police? These are the conversations Nigerians would like to hear about, and also would like to hear your own views on it. You can call us on 081 0764 1679 090 241 63440. You can also send us messages on YouTube, and X will be happy to read your comments. Let me come to you. Let me start with you, Nimo, because you're the lawyer amongst you. I know that this thing was quite shocking to you, if indeed these minors were detained. Let's start with the legal angle on this.
So for me, I saw this as a desperate effort by the police to how would I say, to deter people from protesting. So in a desperate effort, everybody they found at the scene of a protest, vandalizing public facility in Kano, were arrested. Holding up flags were arrested. They packed them to the police station. But then when they got there, the system became exposed because nothing was now done to select who and who should they continue with and what the system provides. So you don't charge minors or detain minors at an adult facility. If truly they are minors, if truly they are adults, who did the checks? Who confirmed who was above 18? And why did they continue to detain them, all of them together in one place? Why were there no proper, scrutiny done to separate the children from the adults. Now, they've left them there. They brought them to court, charged them eventually, and they were ordered to be detained till Friday, which was the date of the next hearing. And then when they came to court, they were completely malnourished. They had enough time that's why I extend my blame to the custodial facility, who, of course, just pack and join, detained. No proper paperwork was done to check, to separate, to find out who was what. So even the people that were released, on what basis did they just release them? If they did not find out these ones were 18, obviously they released them on who know who. Because we remember what happened. I just like to remind Nigerians that the End Bad Governance protest was well done in Lagos, where it started, initially, and Abuja, where it was done. But it was hijacked in Kano and some other northern states because some non-state actors or whatever, state actors who were anti-government funded the vandalization of public facilities. That's what we should first of all have in our minds. Now, the police insisted that the federal first PRO, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, insisted that they were of age, which means they were above 7, according to his statement, above 7 and
below 13.
Below 13. And he said they were of age, confirming that they were minors. That's where everybody now vexed. Our children who should be in school are being detained at a public facility from August till October ending, 1st of November, before they were properly arranged, and you had to see them fainting for the proper thing to be done. So there's a court for this. I'm aware that certain felonies that of strong consequence like treason are not tried in juvenile courts because it's absurd to find children behind such a crime. So somebody was behind the picking of them and everything. So the blame is, yes, the government and the system failed. The judge where the case was arraigned, if they are aware that they are minors, should have insisted the proper thing is done. So normally when a felonious crime is committed, you would arraign the person. If it is of that nature, they will wait for the DPP's advice, or in a federal case, of course, state solicitors, sorry, the DPP again, I'm forgetting what the office is in the federal capacity, to advise on what to do. And in that time, they will be held in a facility. But when it comes to cases of minors, they are expedited. They are not withheld for such a time. Even an adult should be tried in court within 48 hours. Their rights should be read to them. So this smells wrong in every way.
Oh, okay,
but I'm coming back. The blame for me is wide. And the North should sit down and question themselves.
Even the system.
I saw a video of the protest. I saw the size of my son in the streets. How is that possible?
Okay, we'll come back to that. Let me come to this.
Of course, there's a there's a wide
enough blame to go
yes, there's enough blame to go around. However, when a leader, a spokesperson says things, is weighty. So when the police PPR, the PRO, Muiwa, first PRO, said that once you are 7 years old, you can be charged in court. And none of this bad protester is under 7. So he said he claims they are adults because they are not under 7. That's weighty. Because whatever you say will be held and used against you. And we cannot claim to say that somebody that is 13, my 13-year-old, if everybody says there's chocolate there or there, you would get, they will give you a drink if you go there and carry something. All of them would go. Their ability to reason and think through their decision is very weak. And we know people have been arrested. Foreign state actors have been arrested for them sponsoring this act. So why are we holding on to children that we call our adults because they are above 7? Then the IGP came up and said the suspects fainted intentionally in court to draw negative attention. Those children did not look like children that can faint intention. They looked like children that they were hungry. They looked malnourished. And I can say it because I have people that were detained for months, awaiting trial, and the allocation for food was probably made from the Ministry of Interior. But those boys did not get food except I sent money to them. They were not getting food in prison. We needed to send them money so they can buy food on a regular basis. If nobody is sending them money, they will not eat. So were these children, adults in quotes, because they are above 7, that were being detained, were they eating proper at least one meal every day while they've been detained since August? Or how were they being fed that would lead to them looking the way they have been looking? Okay. So while we might say that there's a bigger issue of how to deal with the fact that there are even children of this age on the streets protesting and carrying and looting, let's deal with the fact that when they came into the system as being arrested, were they treated with dignity? Were they treated as innocent until proven guilty? Were they given the kind of treatment we gave to a Bobrisky? Were we giving the treatment to them? But because they are small and they have nobody to fight for them or speak up for them, we now set a bail of 10 million naira. That's a bail of you will never be released for the rest of your life. That's it. If you set a bail of 10 million naira for people that were looting, that they are living off the streets, what exactly, where would they get that money from? Okay. So we are not dealing with the issue.
Let's not assume
we are
that the fact of them living off the streets is a fact. What they were arraigned for was treason.
Yeah.
The entire consequence of that offense is what the judge will look at.
Yeah. Wait, let me come to you. Should they even be arraigned for treason? Based on the action they carried out. Should they be arraigned based on the action carried out? Because that's why we have all these issues of cases in court for a long time and later dismissed. Because even a good lawyer would point out the fact that the case you are presenting cannot be justified. You waste court resources. After a while, they dismiss the case and then everybody goes back home. But these children have suffered and they've mixed up with stronger criminals and whatever criminality they have in them, their love for Nigeria will diminish because they look at themselves and now they've been treated. Why would you want to do better?
Let me jump here.
Okay, I would just like to ask Nima as the lawyer, what is the consequence if somebody actually commits treason? If it's established, I want to behave like I don't know, so let me hear. It's death sentence. So I think Nigeria feels that it is okay for them to arraign these children, and if they are found guilty, if they are found guilty, it's death sentence.
Shouldn't be qualified.
That's where I'm going to. So, because if they are found guilty, now we know where the parameters end. Now, I went online yesterday and I was doing research and I saw something that is the Nigerians Children and Young Persons Act, which is CYPL of the 1943, established juvenile courts and all of that. And this one says, for example, a child under 7 is not criminally responsible for any act, while a child between 7 and 12 is not normally held responsible until it can be proven they know or they knew they shouldn't do the acts. Okay. So now let's now put it.
That's where Olujobi is coming from.
Yes, that's where Olujobi is coming from. That if they know. Yeah. But now I want to take it back home. I want to take it back to the parents of these boys, because I want to believe that, like Tokpa said, I was listening to the radio this morning and the presenter was actually making a point that when they were younger, they saw some of these things happen and all they knew as children was, our big brothers are outside, let's follow them. And you now look at it as the big brothers are looking at, we are training them to continue to take the baton from us wherever we drop it. So they are aware of the society. Now, in this context, who were the big brothers that handed them the flag? Who were the big brothers they looked up to? Now, where are their parents? I was privy on Friday to read a thesis on Alimanjiri and how it comes about. And the father, having a large family, takes his boys to another state to live with a malam. The concept is for training, but at the end of the day, when they get to such a malam's place, it becomes field in the wilderness. You are liable for your own acts. It pushes the boys into the street. So are we sure that these children, in quotes, are not from the Alimanjiri sector? Because I've not seen anything pertaining their parents. It's not today that we'll have issues of children and their parents are all out wailing and granting press interviews. So where are their parents? Okay. Who owns them? And why has there not been action from maybe a parent organization to come and clamor that their children have been kept for so long? So where did these boys actually come from?
Okay,
are they also Nigerian?
I'd like to get the clip for our viewers to even watch, have an idea what we're talking about. For those who don't know.
They don't even have school fees. They don't have anything. They don't even have these people, we are just 90-something years. That's something that 6 days. That's what the children say. My case is different than my child.
Hello. Please, maybe the recording can just stop for now, please. Let's just take a position and see what to happen.
Let me go and take the key. This person is taken to the clinic. They kept me here.
The prosecutor should do their business. How can you arrange children?
What's up?
Okay, so listen. For me, there are different levels to this conversation. Let me take a few from Amnesty International. Specifically, said that putting minors through these horrifying detentions for participating in protests against hunger and corruption is so far one of the deadliest attempts to suppress freedom of assembly. Enough is enough, which we're very familiar with. It says that this is institutional child abuse. Now, we have a system breakdown, because it's one thing for a well-meaning Nigerian to see a child and say, okay, you have done something wrong, and this is the consequence of your sin. However, to put these children together in detention without recourse to the consequence that could highlight from it is when you totally disregard the humanity in the situation. So my worry is, what could have been done? What was the better approach? If you as a humane system, saw children involved in the act of treason and you rally them up together, what could have been the right approach? If for whatever reason, okay, you wrongly detained them, how could you have cared for them in detention that would not have come across that they were obviously malnourished? What is the right procedure? Because sometimes if you don't know something, you will not even, you have no clue that you've done something wrong. For them, you have just arraigned all these people that have hosted the Russian flag and they've been accused of treason. That's all you know. But what could have been done is where my own conversation would like to start from.
These people, 76 in total, 32 of them confirmed by the Punch report this morning of, the governor of Kano and Bauchi State calling for the release of the minors, stated that 32 of them were children under the age of maturity. Now, what Dami stated was the age of criminal responsibility, which the criminal law provides for. But it clashes with the Child's Rights Act, which places children under 18. It doesn't talk about criminal responsibility. The Child's Rights Act doesn't give all those details. It places it clearly under 18. So you would wonder where the courts would resolve issues. So yes, children do carry out crimes, and they can be incited, co-opted, conspire with to carry out crimes. Now, the criminal nature of treason and the consequence of it is why we're all screaming here. If it was an adult, there's no business here. Originally, when I even read the story of their arrest, assuming they were all adults, and I wondered, what their actions would have, gone to the integrity of our country and unity of our country, I insisted they should be made to face the full wrath of the law. So I cannot come and say that if somebody was guilty of treason here, I would say that they should be released. But the debate here is that those 32 that were minors, what would have been their consequence? I'm surprised at the North, that they are now coming out, the governors, saying that they should have been released. Did they bother that those children were on the streets in the first place? That they were not fully engaged, schooled, educated? Because to free a mind, you need to educate the mind. What were the provisions of the state to ensure that a system, my father learned the Quran like an al-Madri. He left his family house to my mother's family house in the same village to live there to learn. And you will do certain work for your mother. And he died an engineer. So what are you telling me? He did not go and learn any other skill. He was to learn the Quran, but this system has been allowed to fail deliberately by the leadership.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take.
I choose to
Ejek,
stay.
close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for staying with us. I have a caller. Samuel, thanks for calling. Samuel, you're live.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ladies of your view, yeah. Quick one. Nima, I want to agree with you this morning. Honestly, I agree with your submission. This morning. You see, one thing I hate most in life is sentiment. Let us not put sentiment in this matter of minor. Nima, you made a statement. You said where were these governors when these children are coming out for protest? The governor of Kano State, if not for immunity, that man should have been arrested for propagating that protest in the first place. These children were around going on about looting, destroying property. If I have a child that I train at home, I talk to him every time for not doing a wrong thing at the age of 7 or 8, and he went out for this kind of a thing, I will allow them to punish him. Honestly speaking, let's remove the sentiment. This is what encourages all this criminality in this country. Because we have too much emotion on minors. They're supposed to take training, we train them, and they refuse. That's the consequence. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So I was making a point about the system. So an elementary system was a system of education,
yeah.
But it's been abused by the not largely, because now I just have to born children, I can marry any number of wives, the children, I will just send to any malam under the guise of religion. Whether the malam has the means, whether I pay, whether the child actually learns is none of my business. And I will walk and see the child on the street. We've seen videos of these children begging on the street, and no state government up north, I'm saying it with, I want any state government who has a clear plan of how this will stop, come out. When the former Emir Sanusi was removed by the former governor of Kano State, it was because he was calling out the system for the failures that this was causing. Yeah. He says, turn the religious houses, the mosque where they are supposed to learn, turn it to education, to schools. Yeah. Between the morning prayers, subuhi, to the 2 o'clock prayers, let the children be learning and free their minds. I tell you boldly, what we knew then as children is if you could memorize the Quran, you do well academically in any subject because you know how to focus And so most parents would insist their children finish learning and then still go to school. But why did we now leave this large number of children to the advantage of all these nation destroyers?
Let me take this call from Festus. It's calling from Agege. You're live.
Morayo.
Yes, sir.
Allah Akbar.
Amisa.
Allah Akbar, yes, you.
Amisa.
Don't look at the person they give it to you now. Eh? Don't look at the person they give it to you now. You can see a step more than this. Tomorrow is so much new. Don't take that. Speak the truth. You are speaking the truth. You are speaking the truth because you are giving this position now. Please, we are suffering. We are hungry. And who is hungry, he must be angry. I take God bless you.
Thank you. I didn't hear what he said.
He was praying for you and saying that you should continue in your path.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Festus. So I'll come to you, Soko, in a second, because I want us to establish and be clear we're all on the same page. Based on the law, which is what Damilola gave to us, the law provides that a child under 7 is not criminally responsible for any act or omission. And a child under the age of 12 is not criminally responsible for an act or omission unless it is proved that at the time of doing the act or making the omission, he had the capacity to know he ought not to. So it means that if the police or the lawyers are able to establish that these children who are 12, 10, 13, whatever, are able to understand, they knew what they were doing by carrying the Russian flag, and they actually committed the act of treason, they could be liable. So that is established. So our conversation is not about them being arrested or not being arrested for treason. The issue is their treatment. Are they their treatment, or should they have been detained for that long as minors?
An adult
and what caused them? That's the conversation. So we're all clear, we're saying the same thing.
Okay, so we're not actually all saying the same thing, because one is, for you to be liable for an offense that you committed, you need to understand that what you did was an offense.
Yes.
So if you were given, if they were given a flag and promised food for
just
running around
waving
with
it
the
around.
flag, they cannot be punished for waving the flag because they did not understand.
Let the law determine that.
But what I'm saying is, the law will determine it. But the point is, if the process that we have, the system we currently run, in order for you to determine that a 15-year-old, or let me use 13, a 13-year-old boy was, if you asked him and he said he was paid to hold this flag and run around the streets, you caught him with the flag, you arrested him, and you have held him for 3 months to prove that he is conscious of holding the flag. And he's being detained with hardened criminals. So by the time he comes out, even though he did not know before going into prison a few things about criminality, now he understands how to get his life better, the ways he can do it, the opportunities that are available for him to do it. So my thought is, you asked a question, what could they have done better? Expedite the process. The least that can be done, even if those, the truth is, our children are far more aware than we were when we were growing up. A 13-year-old right now might actually know a whole lot about what treason is based on knowledge. He might have been indoctrinated, he might have been convinced. We've had children that were strapping bomb and blowing up people. So if you are able to prove that this person, do it fast. Let's sift out the wheat from the shaft. These are the ones that are criminal intent, and these are just the pawns. And who is using these boys, and who used them? We use a way to find them. We run a court system that people can negotiate, still big money. Then you will repatriate the fund and do what they call that stuff, where you negotiate because you are able to, you do a plea bargain. So the system has plea bargain. If these boys can claim and lead you to the people that gave them the flag, and you can now use them as a proof to get the real guys.
The process is ongoing.
What I'm saying is the process is taking so long, and the system is burdened because there's a budget to ensure they are eating, the lawyers are getting paid for every time they show up in court, the judges, the system should be more efficient so that we get to justice early enough before we do more damage in that process.
Because this is something we see all the time.
Yes. So the justice is slow. The justice is slow, and it is not, and it is expensive. So one thing I expect is make the justice system faster. Number two is, when you even want to bring the boys to court, because you want to make them, you value human life, and you understand that these people are human beings. They might have even committed a crime, but we should treat them with respect. The way you will bring them, those children, the way they were brought into court, it does not sell the government's image at all. Yeah. And so there are many people whose heads should roll, from the custodial facility, the customs, to the police themselves, who all the statements I've heard from our Nigerian police force has been defending and excusing what we saw, which did not look good. There's no... It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good or it doesn't...
It's not good. It's not good and it doesn't look good.
My worry, the president tells us renewed hope. And when and I always hold on to that phrase because I expect that it trickles down. It's one thing to say, I'm giving you renewed hope. And I'm showing it in different ways, where the senators, the National Assembly members, the ministers, the appointees, everybody has renewed hope in their mindset. Does the police have the renewed hope mindset such that when you are arraigning minors, how do we show that how do we show dignity in humanity? So especially when it comes to children, people must be able to see that there's something different in the system. There's something different in the governance. There's something different in how we treat each other. What was seen in the courtroom, how the children collapsed, the reaction, there was nothing renewed. There was no hope renewed in that act. And it's important that all the various aspects of governance, including law enforcement, must begin to retrace their steps to ensure that we are all aligned to giving hope to Nigerians. Because the only way I can believe in this system is when I see those little things you're doing, that you're changing your mindset. The things should not be done the way it was done in the past. So people must understand, if we're really pushing for renewed hope, across board, we must see that something has been renewed in the system. Let's jump in, Damilola.
What I would just like to say is that the president is one person. And I can always want to say that it is only him that knows himself. I beg to differ that he might not know his wife as much as he thinks he does know her. So they're bound to be divided. Now that's a family unit. Let's now bring it down to different people of different race, different tribe, different descent. You might decide to go to Ibadan with somebody and you want to take Lagos-Ibadan Express Road and the person insists on taking Abeokuta Old Road. You both want to go to Ibadan, but your means and your ways are different. So if you do not realize that the means that we want to journey through is different, it will be difficult. Yes, everybody wants to go to Ibadan. Everybody wants the renewed rope. But how many people want it to be swift, to be fast, and to be efficient, or to be short before we travel down this renewal? We've been here before the Renew Hope came. I think it was the Hope of 1993. What was it? So that one was just, I think it was latched upon.
Warriors was very catchy.
The change.
Jonathan was a breath of fresh air. As at that time, we also felt stifled, even when it was. So my point is, if the president says, oh, renewed hope, the people under him, that architecture, how long does he want to take them, or will he probably take them to join the pace of his renewed hope? He might have it all in copy and he knows what he wants to do, but he cannot do it all. You can't be at 30 places at 30 different times. Somebody has to take the bull by the horn. So if they are not taking it, it will be pretty difficult.
David's been holding for a while. Good morning, David. You're live.
Sorry, we lost it.
Just to support what Dami said, the president, upon hearing this from media on Friday, directed the AG to review the treasonable felony charges, the charges. Yeah. Now, within the ministry, yes, the AG heads, but you have lawyers who work for the AG. Somebody showed face in the camera and said he's the prosecuting lawyer and insisted there's no minor. Even though the
I saw that video. I thought it was AI. It was AI.
He said it with the boldness on his face. Shock catch me.
I had to rewind.
You would think he gave birth to them and he was sure of their date and age.
Their date of birth. They are married men.
He said that there were no minors. Now, the system has leadership failure in every way you see it.
Yeah.
There's somebody at the custodial facility who would have seen these children being brought to court. What you could have done, rather than just swallow what the police told you, is take your time. Write and advise government. It doesn't mean that you're trying to remove somebody from office, but you know the way we think. You write, so what can I do? You go write something about her. You want me then sack me.
There's a lot everywhere.
Write and advise government. There are children in my facility I consider too young to be held within this facility. You write to government. With the police that arrested and reported to their superiors, the superiors could have sat down and advised the IG. We have children who have been arrested in
Even
this
if you
protest.
don't write, Nima, write to an NGO. There's a National Human Rights Commission. There are different groups you can actually write to. Say, listen,
I'm saying
I have minors here.
within the system. You know, we read one leadership book from one ex-civil servant. You know, those days, the way they used to think, and they used to write a lot.
Let me pause you for a second. Alaji Suba has been holding. I don't want to lose this call. Alaji Suba, thanks for calling. You're live.
Thank you, Moralo. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Thank you very much. You see, let me start from where Nima talk. I want to corroborate, what Nima said. I heard it from from one radio this morning, that the analogy in the north is that if you are poor, then it is being destined by God that you need to be poor, and if you are rich, it is being destined by God to be rich. You see, it's not like that in the Quran.
It's not like
I'm a Muslim, and it's not like that in the Quran. In the Quran, God says you should seek for knowledge anywhere. You understand? God does not say somebody should be poor. That is what is in the Quran. If some people is taking the opportunity of making some people al-Majiri, is for them to be used. And this is the consequence. You understand? I remember, Sanusi repeated the consequence of the calamity of what the al-Majiri, what is going to cause. He mentioned it. The same thing with our former president, President Jonathan. He talked about this al-Majiri people. You understand? But the point is the leaders in the north, they are using these people because of this kind of issue. You understand? And I believe, let me tell you, none of their children, you find none of their children in the midst of these children. You understand? They are using them for this kind of havoc. You understand? So it is not done, and in fact, it is the right time people in the north to wake up on that. As I said, knowledge. And Quran give us the opportunity to seek for knowledge. It does not say what.
All right, thank you very much, Alaji.
So I was saying that, the system, you would have written to your immediate superior, at least there will be an evidence from your office that you called attention to an anomaly within your watch. Right within the system before you even go to NGO. Let us even see it. And now the matter is before a judge. A judge, for instance, has the powers to say, why is this case here? Call the prosecuting lawyer to get the necessary advice. And while that, you can call in your own personal opinion as stepping out of the law and say, these children, why are they before my court?
A place of compassion or sympathy.
Yes, let them be taken to the proper court. This can be handled administratively. Or you can advise anything while you're detaining pending trial. Now, if the judge cannot even ascertain ages, 10 million naira bill that you were given, because of that, you will give a shorter date in your registry. Make sure that this matter comes before me next week. Not from August to October now.
Yes.
Do you understand? Not from August to October. If you have inkling,
the next one, I think it's January.
Imagine
so,
that.
and this, obviously, these boys will not get, these children cannot get 10 million.
We have to wrap up on this.
I like that the president has directed.
Has waded in.
Showing he didn't. This is not President Bola Tinubu's doing. It is Nigerians who are at work, desperately looking for a way to deter protesters.
Yes. Correction. What are these? How are we going to ensure that the time they have spent, what have they done in the time they've spent? They are the best prisons around the world that have actually achieved change. Focuses the time in prison, the time in detention, into education and correction.
Yeah.
So the focus within the time they've spent, if there is concerted effort, could have transformed those children. In 60 days, you can bring about, in 30 days, you can bring about transformation, exposing them to knowledge, investing in how they think, and making them believe there is hope for the future. That is what I would rather we spend the next few days before they are released, hopefully soon, doing to them, and create a system that ensures that somebody goes into the correctional facility, they don't come out the same way, they come out better than when they
went. I have to end with Engineer Tijani. Yeah, that's his message. Says ignorance is not an excuse in the legal system, and that is the truth. We can choose to be hypocritical, but we all know the truth. Those who unleashed these children to cause mayhem should pay the bigger price, which we all agree. It's unfortunate that these children were not the architects of coming to this world or where they were born. Some people brought them to this world, and the society has failed them. We are gradually losing the future of this country to criminality, and this has to change. These children can be trained to be more productive, and we must turn their negative energy to a productive one for national growth. The issue should not be politicized at all, and it calls for a national sober reflection. An idle hand, obviously, is the devil's workshop. Let us keep them busy. I think that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we
Nigeria,
can
but
take.
I choose to
Ejeki,
stay.
close the show, G for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym though, you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does show dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You scissors. What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get to it now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Pure Entertainment.
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that we need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind.
Thanks for staying with us. So our Let's Talk today is Dangote Matter Refinery. So adequate supply of petrol remains a major challenge in the country as we continue to import refined fuel despite being one of the largest producers of PMS. The Dangote Refinery has called on the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, and fuel marketers to stop importation. According to the chairman, Aliko Dangote, the company had more than 5 million liters of petrol in reserve, and they are ready for local distribution. He has also noted that as a producer, the refinery is not responsible for the petrol distribution. We've also seen in the papers that Ipman said Dangote's PMS is too expensive. Dangote also, in today's papers, said, my fuel is only 919 naira per liter. So what is the problem? Anyway, joining us from Abuja studio is the spokesman himself of Ipman, a National Publicity Secretary, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, Mr. Ukadike Chinedu. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Yes.
Good morning.
Thank you very much.
So the very first question Nigerians would like to ask Ipman why are you not purchasing PMS from Alhaji Dangote's refinery located in Lagos?
Okay. From the inception of that refinery, and when that refinery was commissioned, Ipman we sent a representative, and we wrote a very, very elaborate letter to the management of Dangote, expressing our feeling. Also telling them that the coming up of that refinery is the dream and prayers of all independent marketers in Nigeria. We congratulated him in the presentation of principal, and also sent some of our members, especially led by
Go ahead, we can hear you. Led by. Hello.
led by Alhaji Ahmed Fashola, our national vice president, who was also there on a pathfinding mission to be able to secure, the packs for independent marketers trucks, because these are the responsibilities of what we should be able to have, so that by the time our marketers and our trucks start loading from Lekki, Ebejileki, the inflow, the heavy inflow of trucks, because independent petrol marketers were strategically located and we have the highest number of filling stations in Nigeria. So it is very, very pertinent at that particular point in time to be able to secure where our numerous trucks will park, so that it will be easier for us to load out from that depot. However, after that visit, which was commendable, and a lot of good signals were coming out of it, the issue of taking this product, which we have also written a request to the management that we want to take this product directly from Dangote. Okay. We don't want NMPCM or DAPMA members or MOMA members. Okay. The designers of independent petroleum marketers decided to give the indigenous marketers a chance, an opportunity to be able to be part of the marketing of petroleum products in Nigeria. Oil is being exported to this country, now exported to a foreign country to be refined, brought back into this country again, and international marketing companies will be also be marketing it for Nigerians. So it is important that indigenous marketers should partake. Even when oil was explored by the IOCs, they were also marketing. So the proponent of independent marketers said, no, we can't allow ExxonMobil, all these people to come into this country, they exploit the oil, they refine, they do everything, they also market. Let the indigenous people be part of it. And I want to be very, very proud today, and very much state clearly, that the independent marketers, we possessed and got forth 90% of petroleum marketing filling stations in Nigeria. So we are one of the strategic partners or off-takers that should be given choice of first refusal.
Is this still talking?
So are you saying that, I'm not sure, hello, are you there? Are you still there? Can you hear me?
No, it's just, I think it was established.
Okay. We want to jump in here.
Yeah, so I hear you, and it's been in the papers over and over again, the clamor by Ipman to be recognized and be able to buy directly from Dangote, but many people don't understand what is the bottleneck. Is it that it is legally not possible for Ipman to buy directly from Dangote? Is it that it is illegal for Ipman to import fuel directly? Is it that the deregulation that they said is being deregulated is not in actual fact effective? Please, we want to understand this better.
There was one of your guests that came, in one of your shows, that was saying that this man is designed to depend on the major marketers and the NNPCL to get his product. So what is the beauty of deregulation? If you have to liberalize the market for everybody to partake in the competition, you don't want us to be dependent with independent marketers. We also want us to be dependent on an NPC and DAPMA members and MOMA members for us to have products that we can be able to sell in our filling stations. Most of those people you are talking about does not have what it takes to be able to distribute these products as quickly as possible. If Dangote, who said he has not 5 million, 500,000 millions of PMS stored in his tank, this we had a part, an off-take agreement with Ipman. I want to bet you that 500,000 fuel in his tank will be in the filling stations. We have the storage.
They don't answer the question, sir. So, is it that it is illegal?
Wait.
Is it like because...
It's not illegal.
Okay, wait, let's
no framework at all.
Mr. Okadike.
So there's nowhere in the PIAPU that stated that Ipman cannot be able to buy from Dangote.
Okay.
We have been buying from Dangote.
Mr. Okadike.
We have been buying from other refineries. We have been buying from Watersmith refinery. We have been buying from other refineries. So there is no legal framework in us.
Point taken.
The perpetrators of this, where Ipman cannot buy, are those who benefit from profit.
That's that man. Is that man?
Yes.
Okay.
That man and the MOMA members, because they don't have filling stations.
That's the issue.
They don't have enough filling stations.
Okay.
It is our members that own all these filling stations. Even if you give to that man member, they will still sell to independent marketer. So why are you profiteering?
So they want to remain.
Why are you profiteering? Why are you ranting it? This is a product you are supposed to give to us.
Okay, so let me
to a that member.
Mr. Okadike.
When you feel like.
Mr. Okadike, I'll let Nima jump in a second.
This morning, I took the story of Dangote responding to Ipman members and the Petroleum members. He's insisting that he can sell from point of sale to trucks at 990 naira, and that Ipman members insist on importing, and they said they can import it at cheaper prices. So kindly respond to that.
Yes, I will, but I have not exhausted my last point. My last point is that there is no need. We're buying from a middleman. There is no need. We have the capacity to finance. It is our finance that even these DAPMA members and MOMA members
that point is taken already. We agree with you.
I agree with you totally. Okay, so...
Okay, once that one is settled, I want to state it clearly here that the beauty of liberalization of this market is open sources. Multiple dimensional sources where you can be able to get your product as cheaper as possible.
Okay.
The willing buyer willing seller relationship is that when NNPCL imports petroleum product and independent marketers will look at it that this price is cheaper, maybe they are giving us at 707 naira. We'll go and buy, we'll go and take from NNPC. If Dangote is selling 650, we'll go and take from Dangote. When we were buying product before, the people who are importing HU, the automatic gasoline oil, stated clearly that they can only sell at 1,600. But immediately Dangote started, Dangote was selling to independent marketers at 1,200.
Okay.
And we started patronizing Dangote without hesitation. Dangote was giving us products. It was giving us products in volumes from 5 million to 10 million to even 1 million there. And at the point, Dangote reduced their price to 1,100. From that 1,100, those that are importing came down to 1,100. He also reduced his product to 950 naira. And we are still buying from them. At 950, those that are importing say they cannot be able to cope again. I even said they wrote a letter to Mr. President. So that Dangote is not doing the ethics of the market. So Dangote is trying to push them out of the market. He's trying to curate.
That's the idea now.
What is our business? What we are looking at is where is the product, where in this world the product will be cheaper for us to buy. We want to return on the investment. We also don't want people to suffer. We are the people that are the pumps that are feeding the needs of Nigerians. When they come to our filling station, they fork out all types of product of us, calling with the independent market as thieves. and ropes. And the most unfortunate part of it is you will see NNPCL filling station side by side with that of independent market. They will be selling 998 naira. Independent market will be selling 1,150.
You push them out of the market.
Now, to push us out of this business at all.
Yes, that's the point.
So now we want to of this business.
Let me
what happened to our return on investment? What happened to the people we employed? And we are still paying rent. We are still borrowing money from banks. And we also want to pay our banks.
Let me go on a very short break. Mr. Kadike, I have to go on a commercial break. I'm sorry. Let me pause you for a second. We'll continue the conversation in a minute. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Thanks for staying with us. I know Dami wants to come in here, but it's important because one of the things why I like your view, we're able to break down complex issues for the average Nigerian person to understand, because all we'll be hearing is Dangote, NNPC. If we don't understand, many Nigerians don't understand. So I'd like us to break it down so that we are very clear where the conversation has led to. So far, what we know, Dangote has 500 million liters available. NNPC used to be the one that was exclusively to collect from Dangote and sell to Ipman. Ipman at the right now, before in the beginning, when Dangote started, it was supposed to go through NNPC and then to Ipman. Now, Ipman, they are the independent marketers, you and I, who own private filling stations across the nation, and they have a lot of distribution channels. Now, NNPC used to be, initially when Dangote started, they said NNPC was going to be the exclusive off-takers. Now they said Ipman can come directly. For whatever reason, we have the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association, that's DAPMAN. They are the ones that were in the past, they used to be the ones that used to receive the PMS from abroad when it was imported. Now DAPMAN is the one that wants to retain the exclusivity of collecting PMS from Dangote and sell to Ipman. Ipman is saying, no, I want to buy directly from Dangote. Now the issue is that why is that man still in the picture? That's where we are. But I'll let you come in, Damila, with your question. I just want Nigerians to be on the same page of where we are in this thinking. Go ahead.
I think for me the question is, we've been on this back and forth. The first joy for Nigerians is that, somewhere around in Lagos, Nigeria as a whole, we'll be able to have fuel. It will stop the whole quagmire of going to queue. But this fuel that is now in Dangote's refinery is as if it's causing more problem than what we were even facing. Looking at a lot of foul yash have blown, and we have seen breeze have blown, and we have seen foul yash, and everybody is now trying to take cover, helter-skelter, scamper here and there, not minding whose ox is God. But my question in all of this is that, is there a solution in sight? And what will be the solution as their preferred solution as the National Publicity Secretary? What do you think critically can end this quagmire? Is it to pull out an NPC? Is it for that man to stay on their lane? What exactly should we be expecting?
Mr. Okadike. Hello, sir. Are you still there? Okay, I'm told he's trying to reconnect. Hello, Mr. Okadike. Let me let you jump in here. Your thoughts on what's been said so far?
If you ask me, I don't want middlemen in this business because, you see, we are the most populous black nation. We have the numbers. Anybody that enters this market with a product that is relevant will make money. So that man should rest.
Okay,
that's my point.
I'm told he's back. Hello, Mr. Okadike. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, thank you.
Damilala was asking what you think is the solution. What should be the solution going forward? What would you like? What's your own best case scenario?
Simple and simplicity. That will end the issue of middlemen in this business and will further bring down the price of petroleum products to the final consumer. The middlemen will influence profiteering and racketeering. Most of them normally have this product stored in their tank farm, and they will not sell to their own trucks and their own company before they will not sell to independent marketers. We will wait for 3 weeks, 1 month before we will get value for our money. And our station will remain closed while their own is flourishing. That is why you see this recurring queue every blessed day. The queue does not diminish at all, or it will turn to ghost queue. But once independent marketers is given this choice of loading directly from Dangote, the issue of queue will be a thing of the past.
Yes. Okay.
And the main competition will start. The main competition will start.
Let me, Mr. Okadike, let me I'd like to put you in the shoes of of that man, for example, who are probably imported at a certain cost. You have quite a bit in your depot already, and you need to sell it off. So should they appeal to government to give them maybe 3 months to 6 months? You know, I've already imported fuel. I already imported this refined petroleum. I need to sell it off. I know that the one Dangote is selling is cheaper. Well, allow me to sell this off in the next 6 months, and I don't import anymore. Because if you put yourself in their own shoes as businessmen, they also want to make sales. So how would you think they can also sell off what they have and still give give Ipman marketers the opportunity to buy directly from Dangote eventually?
Well, you are not trying to bear the cross of DAPMA members. I'm not against that. Anybody who ventures into business must do all his analysis before he joins that business. With independent marketers, there's a period government reduce prices from petroleum products. NNDPR will force us to set a new price. They will not even give us at a new price. Even at the point when the government increases, the NNPR and the NNPC will ask us to top up money. We are bearing this cost alone. And we have been complaining, but nobody is coming to our aid.
Okay.
So if that my members have imported petroleum products,
so I completely
and Dangote is bringing it, they should be able to know the money they are going to bring in.
Okay.
It is those that my members' products ends in our filling station. NNPC products ends in our filling station. Mama members' products ends in our filling station. They don't have capacity to distribute.
Yeah.
We have even got to the tank farm.
All right, let me get a few questions for you.
So government should look at it and cushion the effect.
Okay.
This business is what government should be able to look at and monitor it and see how it's going so that you can encourage investors. Empower them.
Mr. Okadike, let me get more questions for you.
Let's talk about the regulators, sir. NNPCL, putting the price for sale into trucks at 990, putting pump price at 1,025 naira at NNPC filling stations, and how it continuously affects you. Do you think NNPC should be allowed, post the regulation, to still peg prices? Can it in any way reduce the hardship for Nigerians?
No, NNPCL does not fix prices. The regulation has made the market open. All the players and stakeholders in the industry will fix their prices based on how they are able to source their petroleum product. NNPCL is a company like my own company, Relic Nigeria Limited. It's a company like mine. They're also there to make profit. They are our competitors. They can't fix price for us. That is why we said, let them fix their own price. Let we, the independent marketers, fix our own price. What we get from Dangote, there was a time when we were selling cheaper than NNPC.
Sir, you're disputing the statement.
95 naira.
With what you just said, sir. With what you just said, sir. With what you just said, you are disputing the statement by the Chief Branding Communication Officer of Dangote, who says that NNPC post-regulation has put price at 990 naira for sale into trucks. And we also saw that last week, they put the price for pump per litre at 1,025 naira at NNPC filling stations.
That's it for NNPC filling stations.
Okay, so
which obviously reduces. I mean, limits where you go.
No.
You can go above.
He's saying you can go below.
So he's saying you can go below.
Let him confirm that. Are you disputing that or confirming what Tokwe said?
No, how can you go below? If businessman, you must go above. Everybody that fixes price will take first cognizance of the source of supply. The location and destination of that product. That means cost of transportation. You must look at these variables and cost of maintaining and running the filling station. You must look at this variable before you fix your price. Okay. You might even see somebody, the beauty of this deregulation is that NNPCL might fix 1,045 naira. If I get from Dangote say they're selling to us 990 naira, 950 naira, backloading from vessel at 990. I might decide to sell 1,000, depending on my variable, depending on how I feel. Depending on how I got my product.
That's the part I'm not getting.
Okay, Mr. Okadike, 1 second.
You just said now that you have to sell lower, but you said that is if you are able to. Is it that you can only sell lower than 125 if you were getting from Dangote directly? That's number one. I'd also like you to help us explain the difference between diesel.
What I mean.
Go ahead.
What were you trying to say, sir?
The difference between what?
The diesel deregulation, which nobody is complaining about, and the petrol deregulation, which everybody is complaining about. What have they done with diesel? Why can't they do what they've done with diesel to petrol so that there will be no issue?
That is why I gave you that analysis. The analysis was very simple. Diesel was 1,006.
Hello? We can't hear you, sir.
Network.
Hello, sir. Okay, I think we lost it again.
So because I'm trying to understand, we did it with diesel. So there's a template already. So if they did it with diesel and diesel could respond to market forces, go from 16 to 900 to 1,100, it means we can also do it with petrol.
Yeah, but when that man has already imported...
That man, it's business.
Hello, sir, we didn't hear...
We're not doing that for rice.
It's
business.
So he knows his cost of production. He knows his cost of production. So if he can be able to know how he can be able to reduce and when he wants to reduce, in line with the price of crude market, crude oil in the international market. Okay. So this, now that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, have now decided to give him crude in naira, we are anticipating and expecting that the price modulation should come more lower.
Even lower.
Okay, Mr. Chinedu, let me ask you a very basic, from the street question. Yes. Has Ipman carried their truck, drove to Dangote refinery, and say, buy me, I want to buy PMS. And Dangote said, no, I cannot give you. Go to NNPC. Has that happened?
Well, if you read the document released by the Chief Communication Officer of Dangote, Tony, you will find out clearly that he stated that Ipman has written a request for a business meeting, and that our request is still being processed.
Okay.
There is no way we can go to Dangote without signing an off-takers agreement.
Okay.
And that off-takers, yes, that off-takers agreement will enable us to know our pros and cons in the business.
Okay. So we are now waiting for Dangote to tell us why they are yet to sign off-takers agreements with Ipman. That's where we are now.
Yes, that's what we are.
So is that the solution we are looking for?
Because
yes, and let's first be sincere to ourselves.
Okay. No rocket science.
The independent marketers will have done more than enough to be able to prepare ourselves for this deregulation.
Okay.
We have acquired tank farms. In case we Dangote want to sell to us through vessel, so that it will be easier for us to take to Calabar Depot, to take to Orara, to take to Port Harcourt, where we have riverine areas, so that we can avoid the road a little bit. Because it is insane for somebody to say that every Nigerian that want to buy a petroleum product should drive their truck to Apapa. Sorry, to Ibejuleki. You see what is happening in Apapa? That same thing will happen in Ibejuleki. So it is also pertinent at this point that the issue, that the way of transporting this petroleum product via system 2B, 2C, and system 2E is very, very important. Products can also be moved by vessel. And Dangote has given us its price for movement of product from vessel. So you can take it to Port Harcourt. Those in Port Harcourt, Anaba, Enugu, Bayelsa, Cross River can be able to access petroleum products.
Okay, so let me ask you another basic question. As of today, where are you getting your PMS from? Is it from Dapman, or is it from NNPC, or is it from Dangote?
Well, we have come to freelancer because we are dependent now. We don't have the source of our petroleum product is NNPC, and our money has been tying down there. They are to supply us, and they are supplying us skeletally. That is why when you go to NNPC filling station, they have enough fuel. They also have surge of trucks parking without being discharged, while our filling stations are empty. And that is why we said, if NNPC is taken from Dangote, don't take from Dangote. That money is taken from Dangote. We don't want to continue to be in this queue. Okay. And we spend 5, 6, 7, 8 days waiting for one messiah to be able to help us to get petroleum product.
Okay.
We can source for ourselves.
So if you are saying that, in understanding all that we have been saying since, it says Dangote sells to Moman major marketers and Dapman members at wholesale price, and insists to sell to Ipman members at retail price. Is that the dispute we have here? That you people are insisting on buying at the same wholesale price?
That is correct. That is the beauty of deregulation. When you say the market is liberalized, why are you channeling us through another person to come and buy from you?
Exactly. If I can afford to buy the same quantity, let me buy the same quantity.
There is willing buyer and willing seller relationship. You should allow us to come and take from you. Why must we go through an NPC? And once you go through an NPC, your price in pump and their price will not be the same thing.
Exactly.
They will finish 5 trucks while we are saying in one truck, because they will put their own margin before they will sell to independent marketers. We don't want that. We don't want to also continue to queue in the lines of and the big heaps of tank farm owners. Before they will, after if their wife makes them angry, they will not sell to independent marketers.
I would like our viewers to understand.
Yeah, NNPC is a regulator and a player in the field. So it's like the referee of the match. He has his own team on one side.
Yes.
So the complaint is NNPC is NNPCL. They have NNPC registered filling stations, and when they are they are releasing petrol, they prioritize NNPC filling stations at the cheaper rates So they get to sell filling station, but beside filling station, you get a different cut that price that I'm getting. So the queue will now be more on NNPCL filling stations, while Ipman filling stations cannot even get fuel. They will put money down and they are queuing up for fuel. So the government, Nigerians just want petrol available everywhere at the cheapest price possible. And Nigerians had high expectations that with Dangote filling refinery out, we would have cheaper fuel. But the politics of that man, Moman, Ipman, NNPCL, we are still stuck at the same problem. That is all Nigerians are concerned about.
So we need a directive for Mr. President.
The president, he is the minister. Which for me is not a good thing, because we cannot have the president who has plenty things to worry about to still be focusing on
So we need Mr. President's directive.
He needs to put his and deregulate fully. There is lobbying going on, high-powered lobbying from Moman and from Dapman, because the system pays them. They make money from selling, and there's middleman system. We don't need that. Nigerians want a free market so that we can get the price as cheap as possible, because we are producing crude oil.
But
please.
Our blessings not become a cost. We have crude here.
We now have refinery.
They say we don't have refinery. That's why
we have refinery.
We don't have refinery.
The people of Nigeria.
Straight conversations, cheaper costs, less production costs. Straight conversation, the one that I was expecting.
When we say we are our problem,
we now tell them.
Corey Michael says we want no man. No man in between.
That's why I'm always an advocate that we are the instruments of
I have to wrap up with our guests because we have to wrap up. But Mr. Ukadige, let me just give you this. Let's just imagine Mr. President is watching right now. I would like you to just make your one-sentence request. What can he do to get this resolved immediately?
Well, my first demand is that independent marketers National Executive Council, led by Alaji Abaka, they also want to meet Mr. President. We are with Mr. President when he was campaigning. And he reassured us that there will be a positive evolution as far as oil and gas industry is concerned. Well and good, the policy is good, but the implementation is something else. So we want to have a meeting with Mr. President and tell Mr. President our predicament. If it's the issue of tank farm, we have gotten the tank farm. If it's the issue of the car, we are ready. If it's the issue of money, we have money. Okay. It is our money that the NNPCL and DAPMA members are using. We want to pay directly, and that even in the reports of the statement that was signed by the communication officer of Dangote, he said they don't have any dealing with it, man. That their customer is NNPCL. That we should go and resort whatever that is the delay with NNPC. And we said we don't want those days. So we are appealing to Nigerians and women in Nigeria to be able to give us audience with Mr. President so that we can be able to explain this to Mr. President.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mr. President will use his wisdom and invite Dangote.
All right.
So that we will sit down with the management and resolve some of this issue so that there will be free flow of petroleum products and the real competition will set in.
All right. Thank you very much. We have to wrap up on that. Thank you very much, Mr. Ukadike, for joining us this morning. I mean, I know there are lots of comments on social media, but right now we can't take any more. That's all we can take on today's show. But indeed, as Nima said, may our blessings not become a curse, because now we were complaining that we didn't have refined we have PMS. Now we have the refinery here.
Battling something else.
Internal politics is costing Nigerians our rightful desire to get this PMS. That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.